Hey guys, it's Irene here. I know it's been so long since I put anything on YouTube. I'm sorry, I've been just so busy with weddings, but now that the wedding season is almost done, I have a lot more time to film some new tutorials for you guys. And I thought I'm gonna change it up a little bit and kind of show you my workplace, how exactly I do my editing and what exactly I use. And today I will be showing you also how to create fake freckles in Photoshop, which is really easy. Anyone can do it. It just takes a little bit of time. So yeah, let's just get started. So this is the station that I usually work at. It's a little bit messy all the time. I actually cleaned it up for the video. This is my laptop, which I used to use just on its own. I used to use just the screen that it has, and I used to use just, you know, a little touch thingy right here to edit. But now that I actually do this professionally, and this is my profession right now, I invested a little bit into more professional equipment to just make my work stand out a little bit more. And I am so happy with the things that I bought. It's not a big investment, but it makes a huge difference. So I got the screen, and this is ProArt Asus monitor. It's specially designed for editing, for photo editing. There is lots of things on the side that you can adjust to have the perfect color. You can also even tilt it to viewer portrait style rather than the landscape style, and the colors are amazing. It's like so true and awesome. It doesn't have any blue tint that my laptop used to have, so I'm so happy with it. And also the little tablet that I got, which I did a review on, and I'll put the link somewhere so you guys can see it if you're interested in that. But this has just changed the way I edit. It's so much easier. This is pretty much like a little mouse, but instead of the mouse you can use a pen, so it's almost like drawing, and it's just so much more precise, faster, and awesome, and I just love it so much. So yeah, let's just get started with this tutorial, and we're gonna just see what I do in Photoshop to get those fake freckles.
Alright, so we're in Photoshop, and I'm using Photoshop CS6. As I always say, you can use any other Photoshop really. I'm not doing anything crazy. So yeah, any other version that you have will work. It just might be a little bit slower if you have an older version of Photoshop. And all I wanted to do is just add a lot more freckles and just make them a lot darker. She has a little bit, but we're gonna make it a lot more awesome and artsy and all that stuff. And yeah, as I said before, this is really easy, so stay tuned and let's get to it. So the first step is duplicating the layer, like I always do. You're gonna right click on the background right here, choose duplicate layer, and press OK. Now we just want to get a little bit closer in on our picture. There's two options that you can do. You can either select your selection tool right here, or what I call a pad, and you can sample a little piece, the color from the freckle that she already has. But I think it's a little bit faint. I want to do it a little bit different color. So the second option is what I'm gonna use right here on these square little things. You want to click, double click, and then it's gonna go to this color picker, and then I'm just gonna go a little bit right here. So the freckle color is usually like brownish red, so I'm just gonna choose this one right here. I'm gonna press OK. So I'm just gonna pick up my drawing tablet, and I'm gonna select a brush. We're gonna go maybe size 13 and a soft rounded brush, and you want to go down on the opacity maybe to like 50 or 60. We're gonna start with creating soft, bigger freckles, and then on top of them we're gonna be drawing some smaller, darker freckles to just give it some more dimension. And then if you feel like it's a little bit too dark, you can go on the opacity here as well. I just think it's a little bit too dark. I'm gonna make them a lot more faint. and then just keep on drawing some more. And also keep in mind that freckles are not round. Most of them have quite a weird kind of shape, so you can draw on some round and some more longer or more square, and just, you know, it's always nice to use a reference picture to kind of see how they're looking in real life. And then also, you know, if you're not happy with some, you can always pick up your eraser tool and just erase them. What I also love about this drawing tablet is that the amount of pressure you apply to the pen actually comes out on the screen the same way. So if you apply a little bit amount of pressure, it comes out lighter, and then if you apply more pressure, it comes out a lot stronger. So it's awesome what you can do with this. It is actually like drawing, and you can really control what you're doing in Photoshop using this. You want to make sure that some of the ones you're making bigger and some you're making smaller. You also want to make some little dots around them just to create more texture. Okay, so I'm just gonna zoom out and see how that looks right now. Another thing that will make it look more natural is to follow the highlights and the shadows of the face. So the ones that are highlighted will be obviously a lot lighter than the ones that are in the shadowy parts of her face. So I'm just gonna get my eraser, I'm gonna put the opacity to 50%, and I'm gonna get the ones that are lighter here. Just gonna raise them a bit to make them a lot lighter, because that's what it would be in a normal setting. The ones that had more light on them will appear a lot more faint in pictures than the ones over here in the shadowy parts. I'm not going to be doing it on her whole face, just on this little spot, just to kind of show you guys, because I mean, this is just for a tutorial. So yeah, after you did this first step, which is just softly marking some bigger freckles, you're gonna go ahead and make another duplicate layer. So on the first background copy, you're gonna again just click duplicate layer, and you're gonna press OK, and make sure that that layer is in the middle, like right now. If it was on top of all the layers, you wouldn't be able to see what you've done before on the layer before. And if it gets a little bit confusing, you can always rename the layers. Like if you double click on it, you can just name it large freckles, and this one is gonna be small freckles. Alright, and this way you won't be confused. So you want to select the small freckles layer, and we're gonna again pick our brush, and on the opacity level, I think I'm gonna go to around 80. So again, we're gonna go, actually this is too close, just about right here. On the brush, we might go a little bit lower, like maybe a 9. And all you want to do is create more freckles, and this time they're going to be a little bit smaller. But again, they don't have to be all the same size. They can be bigger and smaller. And what I also like to do is you pick up some of the bigger freckles that you've already done, and you just kind of darken up little spots on them, like I'm doing so right here. Let me just get it a little bit closer so you guys can see exactly what I'm talking about. So we have like a bigger one right here, so we're just gonna darken it up just a little bit. And then you can also just kind of create some little specks now and there, and also again just try to concentrate more of the freckles in these darker areas of the face and then less of them in these brighter areas where, you know, the light will usually just shine, so you don't need to put as many there, but you definitely still need to put some. Also, don't be afraid to extend those freckles, you know, closer to the eyes, because if you look at the people that have freckles, they are literally all over the place. I have a little bit of freckles and some of them are even like around my lips and going like into the eyelids, and yeah, don't be afraid. Like, you can definitely put some more freckles, you know, closer to the eye and stuff like that. And from time to time, you always want to just zoom out and zoom in to see if you're doing good or if you like it. If you don't, it might look totally different zoomed in than zoomed out. So yeah, just keep doing that and see if you like what's happening. You can always just erase it or make it lighter and darker, as long as you keep those layers separately. So yeah, this is it. As I said, it's quite easy. All you have to do is just to play with textures and play with different tones. Start with lighter freckles and then add some more of the darker ones. And again, just make sure that in the darker areas of the face, the freckles are darker, and then the lighter ones, they are lighter as well. That will make it look a little bit more natural. And yeah, just be patient, because this takes time, and the more natural you want it to look, you know, the more time you will have to invest in this. Also, I would say that I actually prefer doing freckles just with makeup. It's a lot easier and takes a lot less time than doing it in Photoshop. But if you don't have an opportunity, or you don't really have time to do this, or maybe you just had an idea of doing freckles after the photo shoot, you can always do it in Photoshop, like I just showed you guys.
So I hope you guys liked this tutorial. I hope it was easy to follow and you learned something new. And like, comment, subscribe, you know, all those things. And also let me know what other tutorials you would like to see in the future. I will be filming 2 more tutorials this weekend, so there's a lot more to come, so stay tuned. And yeah, there's gonna be a lot more, as I promised. I love you guys. Thank you for all your support, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.